initial portion of the semantic analysis phase. So today's class will start off with the semantic analysis and the evaluation part of it. Okay, so just what has happened in semantic analysis phase. What we have discussed is about the semantic analysis phase is we have to check based on the data type. So type checking happens. Along with that, we will take care of the flow also. The flow, how the control flow checking is also happening. Because everything, the semantic analysis phase, whatever we are doing, that is done onto the parse tree. Because so when I say it's done on the parse tree, so that means we are trying to improve our grammar, whatever we have applied. Okay. So when we are saying we have done onto the grammars, so we have to make sure that the grammar, whatever we have, it's not ambiguous. So it should be always disambiguate. And here in the semantic analysis phase, we also take care of the type coercion. So that means it's nothing but the implicit data type conversions. If there is any mismatch happening, then the reporting, that is the error, has to be reported. So basically, if you take up one example, I just had taken up one example based on the if statement. So if we have the condition mentioned, so if you take up the condition mentioned to be as b equals, that is, first we are verifying whether b is equals to, b is a variable which is equal to 0, the constant value or not. If it is so, then we are just assigning the value of b to a. Otherwise, we are just stopping. So it goes on like that. So just how we are going to take up is, so when we were, that is in your syntax, that is syntactic phase, the second phase what we have discussed, in that is in the parsing phase, we just have generated the parse tree, right? So that means you would be having some if, then a double equals, and then we would be having the variable b, then with respect to the constant value 0, and then similarly all these, the parse tree would be generated. So now along with that, we are just keeping the data type also in along with that contents. So now when we say the data type also has to be taken, comes into picture, then how it is done. So for doing this, what happens is we will be having something called symbolic table. So as soon as you are having a variable declared, so we maintain a symbolic table. So symbolic table, what are the contents? What you have is, as the name specifies, symbol table or symbolic table. So as the name specifies, it is going to maintain the details of symbols. So symbols means, which is nothing but mainly the variables. Here mainly when we are from the course point of view, when we are discussing, we will be just talking in terms of the names. So what are the names which we can have? We can have the names mentioned for variables. We can have the names mentioned for functions, pointers, structures. So all these are having names. So based on where you are defining which type of names, which type of symbols you are creating, based on that, the type as well as the name details would be maintained in the symbol table. In detail, we will be seeing about the symbol table when we discuss about the procedures. Okay, that is when we discuss about the functions. So as of now, if you are having a single function, if you assume it to be as a single function, what we can have, as soon as your main function is done, for example, in the C program, main function is done, you would be declaring all the variables. So a symbol table would be generated where you are maintaining the variable names and along with that, what data type and the value. So value, which anyways it will be, we know that it is stored in the memory part. Okay, that means the address would also be maintained. So by using the symbol table, with the help of the symbol table and with the help of this parse tree, we can analyze that whether the semantic analysis can be maintained or not. That is whether we can have whether we can accept the variables with that particular data type or not. Okay. Now along with the semantic analysis, that is along with this type conversions, what we can do is we can even have evaluations done. Okay, we can even evaluate it along with verifying whether we can accept certain contents with certain data types or not. Along with that, we can also evaluate. Okay, so for evaluating purpose, we can have use two ways. So the one which we can have is we can evaluate it based on the attribute grammar. That is, we are just extending it. We are just extending the grammar, syntax grammars, whatever we have written in the second phase, we are just extending it. So when we are extending it, we are extending it based on certain attributes. Okay, we'll take up an example and we'll see it. Along with the other method which we can take is, so one method is by going with this attribute based grammar. Okay, the other method is by using this ad hoc techniques. So that is a little bit improved version of it, improved version of the attribute grammar. Okay, so instead of going with this theory part, we'll just see one example, then it will be more clear for you what exactly what I'm trying to say. Okay. So once we finish with this lexical analysis phase and the syntax analysis phase, we are going with the semantic analysis phase. So in the semantic analysis phase, till now what we have done is we just know that we are going to verify whether the symbols are whether we can evaluate those symbols or not. So verification. Along with the verification, we can also evaluate the contents. So when we are going for the evaluation part, we can evaluate it based on two methods. The first method is based on attribute based grammar. Okay, so first we'll discuss about this attribute based grammar, and then we will discuss about the syntax based grammar. Okay, so first I'll just show you about the attribute based grammar. Okay, so attribute based grammar will take up with an example. So attribute based grammar means, so as the name specifies, we have a grammar. So in this, for explaining about this, we'll just take up an example that is based on signed binary number. Okay, so when I say a binary number, which will be with respect to zeros and ones. So signed binary number means with respect to positive or negative binary number. So for example, if any number say -11, which is considered to be a signed binary number. Another example, 101. So since sign, I'm saying it to be as compulsory. So some sign has to be mentioned, that is positive sign or negative sign, or negative 10 or 01, positive 01. So any signed binary number. Okay. So for this signed binary number, to accept the signed binary number, we should have a grammar written. So I have mentioned the grammar over here. Okay. So according to this grammar, what it says, we should accept a signed followed by the bits. So for that purpose, what we have started with the production rule with respect to number. So from number, either we can start with, it will have the sign followed by the list. Okay, list of binary digits. So sign, what is the sign which we are expecting? I'm expecting positive or negative. I didn't give epsilon here. I'm expecting I should have either positive or negative sign. Okay, no epsilon. Next thing is coming to the list part. So list part means, which is nothing but we can have sequence of binary bits. So to have sequence of binary bits, I have mentioned it to be as list bit, or it could be a single bit. Okay, so we can have any number of bits. So I have made it to be as list bit or bit. And what about the bit? Bit could be 0 or 1. Okay, so that I can generate any binary number along with the sign attached to it. Okay, so this writing of grammar is by now all of you are familiar of writing the grammar part. Now on to this, we have to evaluate it. That means we have to, according to this example, when we say we can evaluate onto this binary number, when we are saying evaluating, what type of evaluation I can do? I can convert this binary number to some decimal number. Okay, so or to any other to any other base value. So right now what I am doing is, for evaluation purpose, I am just converting the binary number to a decimal number representation. So if you write this to be as positive 101, that means I am expecting the result to be as +5. So evaluating, that is, I am just converting the binary number to a decimal number. Okay. So for doing this, I have to make use of some attributes. So that means I have to apply some calculation. So along with this grammar, I'm just going to mention. So for doing this calculation, I should have some variables. So those variables which I'm going to identify are mentioned to be as attributes. Okay. So hope it is clear. So I have written the grammar for reading all the binary numbers. So once I take the binary numbers, I'm just writing by using this attribute based grammar. What we can do is, along by verifying the contents, that is, I have given the expected data type contents. Along with that, I can also evaluate it. So for evaluating purpose, I'm just making use of this attribute based grammar. So in this, as we have to do this evaluation, we should make use of some variables. So those variables, whatever we are going to identify, is named to be as attributes. Okay. So, and these attributes will be attached along with your non-terminals, that is non-terminals or terminals. So that means for each rule, you will be extending it with respect to your attributes, how the calculations should happen. So first, for identifying the attributes, so for this particular grammar, what are the things which we should have as an attribute? So for storing the number, we can have a value mentioned. So I have made use of the attribute called value attached to this number, the non-terminal number. Along with this, I have another non-terminal called sign. So for this sign, I can have another attribute named to be as negative, and this is attached to this non-terminal sign. Now coming to the for calculating with respect to position, if I am doing the calculation with respect to position of the binary bit. So hope all of you remember the binary to decimal conversion. So if I say 10, say 110, if I say 110, positive 110, how do I convert this to decimal number? With respect to position, if I am converting, I can say this is at the 0th position, this is at first position, this is at second position. So I'll be doing 2 to the power of 2 plus 2 to the power of 1 plus 2 to the power of 1 into 2 to the power of 2 plus 1 into 2 to the power of 1 plus, it's not clear. Hope you remember that conversion of binary number to a decimal, which would be written to be as 1 into 2 to the power of 2 plus 1 into 2 to the power of 1 plus 0 into 2 to the power of 0. So that you would be ending up having 2 to the power of 2, which is 4, 2 to the power of 1, which is 2. So 2 plus 4, which would be 6. So when since I'm doing it in this by using the position, so I'll be having, I will have two attributes attached with this non-terminal list. So which is named as position and value. So value for maintaining the contents and the return values. It is the return the value what we are having for the bit and its return values. For similarly for bit also, when I'm saying 1 or 0, I should know what is the bit position of it and what is the bit value. So value. So I will have two attributes for each non-terminal, that is for list and bit. I have two attributes. I have a single attribute attached for non-terminal number and sign. Okay. Based on your problem statement, that is based on your what type of evaluation you are doing, you can have as many attributes attached, you can attach it. But it has to be defined properly. Okay. So now we will see how we are going to modify our grammar. So along with production rule, we have to mention the rules. So remember in lexical analysis phase, when we were doing along with your regular expression, once that regular expression has been satisfied, what it has to return or what it has to apply. So that means the action the action part whatever you have mentioned. So similarly, that has been done in your lexical analysis phase. So similarly, in your syntax analysis phase also, if that particular production rule has been satisfied, so what is the action what you are going to apply? That is, we can, in other words, I can say what is the evaluation what I can do on it. So just for reference purpose, I just maintained the symbol and attributes what we have already discussed right now. Now we will see with respect to how we are going to modify it. So the production rule, so along with the production rule, what is the action what we are going to mention? So the action part I have named it to be as attribute rule. Okay. So according to the first production what we have written it to be as number gives signed list. Okay. At this first position, that is first time when you are starting with the first production rule, for conversion purpose, what are the things what we have to maintain? We will not have the value as such, right? Right now we will not have the value as such. Instead, we have to start taking the contents from that position onwards. So we can say that we can initialize our position value. So position, we are initializing it with the value 0. So how I have attributed, it's like your C++ or Java, we are just maintaining it to be as like a objects. So list dot position. So position is our attribute, list is the term, it could be terminal or non-terminal. According to this, list is a non-terminal. So we can have the attributes for terminal or for non-terminals. Okay. So now for next when we are taking up, we can, what is the other rule what we have to mention here is, if sign is negative, we have to mention the value, the number of whatever we have, the value for the, from the number side, whatever value we are going to have, that value has to be assigned with minus. So minus, it should be mentioned to be as whatever list has been written, the value, it has to be assigned with negative sign. Or we can say it to be as -1 multiplied by list value. Else it will be the same list value. Okay. Coming to the next production rule, if the sign is positive, we are just mentioning the action what it has to do is sign dot negative. That is this the object, the attribute negative under the sign, we are assigning it to be as false. We are considering it to be as the Boolean operation kind. So it is false. Why? Because here in the if statement, we are expecting, we have used the sign negative in the if statement. So we are expecting a true or false kind of thing. So based on that, you can evaluate, you can assign some values to this, either the directly the value, that is list value if it is positive, if it is negative, -1 of list. So same thing here, if the sign is negative, we are just assigning the negative, the sign dot negative to be as true. So based on this, we can have either of these values. Okay, moving on to the next production rule. So our next production rule is based on the list. We have two things. By using OR operator, we have separated. So for each thing, we have to specify. So I have split that, split both the production rules separately. If suppose, if it is a list, if you are assigning it with respect to the bit, now what happens? So list assigned with bit. Here, when we are writing it, it would be, we have two attributes. So position and the value part. So what, when you are saying list has been expanded with respect to bit, so that means the bit position would be nothing but list position. I'll just explain it with one parse tree, then it will be more clear for you. So say for example, if it is binary, say 110 or say smaller one I'll take. If it is 10, so can you draw the parse tree for 10 by using this production rule? We'll start with num. So from num we have sign. I'm just starting the starting symbol sign. We can have list. So I'm just writing L. So for 10, it will be list will be expanded with respect to list bit, right? And this list will be expanded to bit. And this bit would be assigned with value 0. This bit would be assigned with value 1, right? If I say, for example, if I give positive plus 10, this sign would be taken to be as plus, right? This is the parse tree which you are going to get. Agree? So for this parse tree, now you just see with respect to the production rule. So if you are assigning list bit, what happens? So list bit means especially this portion I can say, right? So list bit. So when we are calculating part, that is when you are applying some calculation on it, what is the one which you wanted? So based on the list, it is no more extension is going to happen. So whatever list you had, then you are directly applying the bit. So will the position value change? The position values will not change. Whatever is the position value of this list, that same position value you have to retain for bit also. So that is what has been mentioned here. Bit position will be nothing but it will be the same list position. Okay. Coming to the value part, when you say value, so value means only when do I get the value? Only after I take up the next portion. That is, bit has been assigned with some value, either 0 or 1, right? So who is going to get the value? So once we get the bit value, this would be assigned to list. So when I get a value, the bit value will be assigned to list. What about the position? The position, this is based on value. Position part, whatever is the list position, that position will be assigned to bit. I don't have to change the position of the bit from here because whatever is the list position, that same position has to be assigned to the bit part. Agree? Have you understood? At least vaguely have you understood? No response. Okay.
Yes.
Coming to, we'll see the next production rule. What is the next production rule we have? Which is list gives list bit, right? List gives list bit. So we have same list mentioned twice, right? So when we are having the same list mentioned even at the left hand side of your left hand side as well as the right hand side, then to avoid confusion, what it does is it gives number to it. It uses the suffix for it. So suffix, when we are using the least, that is the numbering will happen from left to right. So the and that too from 0 onwards. So list 0. That's the reason why I have been suffixed with 0 for this left hand side list and 1 for this right hand side list. So that when I am using for calculation for the attribute purpose, I can recognize which list I am calling, whether I am calling the left hand side one or the right hand side one. Okay, to avoid the confusion, if you are having the same symbol, I have to number it. So that's what I have said. It has to be suffixed. So from left to right, you just it will be numbered. So it will be numbered with respect to 0 for the left hand side, and the next incremented one, which is 1, it would be given 1 to the next one. Okay. Now, so when I am expanding it, just erase this portion. Okay. So this is my parse tree. So for this parse tree, when I have to apply the calculation part. So how do I apply the calculation? So coming to the position, starting with the position. So position initially I have given when I'm calling this number starting production rule itself, my position has been initialized to 0, right? So that same position would be taken up by this for this list also, right? So now when I am expanding it with respect to the same list, if I am expanding it with respect to list and bit, so that means I have more number of bits coming, and that too my list is getting expanded towards left hand direction. My tree is expanding in the left direction, right? Whatever grammar I have written, it is list gives list bit. So the recursively I'm calling towards the left direction. So my parse tree expansion also will be towards the left direction. So since my parse tree is getting expanded in this in the left direction, the position I'm starting it with 0 onwards. So it would be the next bit. So if I say 1 0, my position it would be 0. The next position what I am having, it should be 1 here, right? So what I am doing, I am just incrementing the position what I have for this root node for this L, whatever position I had. So this means it is right now it is having 0. It has to be incremented. So when it reaches to this part, when it reaches to this one, the position should become 1. So how it becomes 1? For that purpose, I am making list 0 dot position plus 1, and it is getting assigned to list 1. Okay, so that is the reason why I have numbered this. So list 0 means which is nothing but the root node 1, this one. List 1 means this is the list 1, the next level 1. Okay. So whenever I'm calculating the position, whatever was my root node's list position, that should be incremented by 1. The reason is because I'm expanding towards the left direction. All the binary numbers, whatever I'm taking, I'm starting from, I'm reading the rightmost one and then keep on expanding towards the left direction. Okay. So for that purpose, list dot position plus 1 has been done and it has been assigned to list 1 dot position. Hope it is clear. Now coming to the bit, along with list part, we even have this side also, bit part also we have. So what would be the position for this bit? Can you just try guess? What should be the position for this one? Because this bit also requires position. Should it increment the bit position? Hello. Hello, students. Can someone tell something?
Yes, ma'am. You are audible.
Yeah, I'm audible, but can you just respond back? What will be the position value for this?
Can you just explain this part again? A list one dot position means the in the tree it is second level, no, ma'am. Uh,
In the tree, it is second level, but which bit it is taken? See, if I say 1 0 is my value, this bit will be taking the rightmost content, right? This 0 is being taken, right? Say for example, if I have if you have to draw the binary tree for 0 1 or 0 1 1, how the binary how this parse tree would look like? The parse tree would look like number for list. I'm just ignoring the sign part because of space constraint. So number will be sorry, from number is getting expanded to list, from list to list bit, and this bit would be taken to be as 1 here, and this list would be further expanded and you would be having list and bit, and this bit would be taken to be as 1 again, and this list is further this list would be taken to be as bit, and this bit would be 0, right? This is the parse tree, how it looks for 0, 1, 1, right?
Yes,
Agree?
ma'am.
So now if you are applying the position, how do you number this? How do you identify the position for this? If you have to convert to decimal number, how do you write the position for this part?
Oh,
This
we
one
will.
will be having 0th
Yes, ma'am.
position, right?
0, 1,
This
2.
one, the second one is going to have the first position. 0 is going to have second position, right? We have to calculate the position based on the bit values, right? Agree?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Now I understood. Initially, I was like, we are going from left. We are counting from left. Counting right only, no, ma'am. It's fine.
Counting right. That's the reason why we had the production rule with respect to recursive. It's a left recursive grammar. List gives list bit.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
So here the position would be, initially itself we are making the position to be as 0, because this is how we are going to read the contents. From right to left we are expanding so that the position of value also could be read properly. For that purpose only the grammar also has been written like this. Okay, so now for this part, what would be the position value? Should we increment it in the next level?
No, ma'am.
It should be the same position, right? Whatever is
Yes.
our root node's position, that same position should be maintained for the bit also. I'll just erase this. So that is the same thing what I was trying to tell for the above example also. So for this bit, when I'm trying to take the position part, whatever is the root node list position, that same position would be the one which should be retained. So keeping that, I have just written list 0 dot position will be the one which will be assigned to bit position. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Now along with this, is there anything else pending for us to calculate? Based on positions we have calculated. Once we reach to the root node, we will identify which bit. Based on the bit, we can apply 2 to the power of position value and we can calculate. After that, we have to return the values back, right? So when we are returning the values, we have to calculate the value. We have to add the values, right? So which two values we will be adding? From level 1, we have to give the values to level 0, right?
Yes.
So for that purpose, what we are doing is we are adding list 1 value with bit 1 value, and it has been given to the root node. So root node means which would be nothing but list 0. So that's what list 1 dot value plus bit dot value will be added, and that content will be assigned to your root node. So root node is represented with respect to list 0 dot value. Okay. Hope somewhat understood. Next, next production rule, what we have left out with the next production rule is with respect to bit positions, that bit values. So bit could be 0 or 1. If our bit value is 0, we can directly assign the value to be as 0. Right? 0 multiplied by 2 to the power of any number, it will be returning 0 itself. So I can directly write bit dot value to be as 0 itself. Okay. Now coming to the next one, which was the last production rule, which is bit 1. So bit 1, when we are writing, we can say that any number multiplied by 1, it will be itself. So I can say bit dot value will be nothing but 2 to the power of bit position. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So So this is how our semantic analysis, that is when we are applying the attribute based grammar along with your production rule, you have to apply the action. So action is nothing but the attribute rules what we are going to mention. So here the example taken is the binary number. So we have written the initially what we have written is we have written the production rule for accepting the binary number, that too the signed binary number. It can be positive binary number or negative binary number. Okay, no, I didn't accept any epsilon. So based on that, we have written the production rule. We have written the attributes. So first we have identified the attributes for each terminal or for the non-terminal. So here in this example, we have attributes only for the non-terminals. So what are the attributes which we can have is for list and position, we have two attributes. One is based on the position and the other one is the value what we can have for it. Okay, so that's the reason why we had two attributes for list and bit, because since we are calculating it with respect to the position. Okay, and coming to the sign and number, what are the attributes which we can have is for the sign we just have to know whether it is negative or positive. So based on how you have defined your attribute grammar, you can just mention true or false based on it. So according to this production rule, what I have, according to my my attribute grammars, what I have written is I have just mentioned whether it is negative or not. So if my sign is negative sign, I just mentioned true. If it is positive, I just mentioned false. Okay. And at the root node, that is the main one. So my starting production rule, which my starting production rule, which I have started with number gives sign followed by list. So there, what I have written, I just want to maintain the final value. That is my final result, what I get from all the leaf nodes, only that I have to maintain. So keeping that in mind, I just had one single attribute, which is named to be as value. Okay. So when I'm starting the attribute rule, I just initialized my production, the position to be as 0, because first I'm creating my parse tree. So each time when I'm creating the parse tree, I have to maintain the position. So the position values keep incrementing as it goes on to the leaf nodes, next nodes. Okay. So this is what we call it to be as attribute based grammar. Okay, we'll just take up an example with respect to the parse tree. Okay, so this parse tree what we have drawn here is based on -101. Okay, it was too complicated, so I couldn't animate it and all, so I just took it as such. So first we are starting with number. So number which would be expanded to sign and list. Okay, so number has been expanded to sign and list. Sign has been expanded with respect to -1, so minus, and list has been further taken to be as uh, list and bit. After that, this list has been taken to be as list and bit, and then this list will be expanded to bit. Then it would be assigned with the value 1. For this bit, it would be assigned with the value 0, and for this last one, which would be taken to be as 1. Okay, so this is how the parse tree will take up. Now, along with the parse tree, now we have our own attributes. So how the attributes will take up? So for the attributes, initially from the number part, when we have the number assigned, we have initialized the position. Okay. So can you just remember this these attribute rules? So based on these attribute rules, the position is the first list what we are going to have. The position value would be 0 itself. Right? So this list, so list and list bit. So now what would happen? So we have next content what we are going to have is, again we would be calculating the position. So this position would be nothing but this 0 plus 1. The root node's position value plus 1. So you would be getting the value to be as 1. Coming for this bit, what would be the position value? We are not going to increment it. Whatever is our root node's position value, that same position value we are retaining it. So it would be 0 itself. Coming to the next expansion, which is this list part. Here again we have to calculate, again the content what we can calculate is the position part. So position, how it will be is the root node's position, which is list 0 plus 1 we would be doing. So 1 plus 1, which is 2. What about the bit position? So bit position would be nothing but it would be the same position as your root node's value. So it would be 1 itself. If you remember, if you can see here, this is what we have applied. So these are the rules what we have applied as of now. Okay. Now coming to the, so now coming to this bit part. So this bit would be the same as the root node list. So it would be the same position value. Okay. Now we are coming to the last part, which is at the leaf node part. So bit gives 1. So whenever we have bit 1, we are going to calculate 2 to the power of bit position. So 2 to the power of bit position, which would be nothing but it would be 2 to the power of what is the bit position, which is 2 here. So 2 to the power of 2, which would give us the value to be as 4. So that is being taken to which attribute? That has been taken to bit dot value. That is what has been mentioned, 2 to the power of 2, which has been assigned to the attribute value. So value would be nothing but 4. Okay, so bit value will be nothing but 4. Okay, now what happens? This value, when it comes for the next part, the list part, what has happened in the list portion? In the list, what we were doing, if you see here in the list, whenever we have applied this list bit, we had list dot value would be nothing but bit dot value. So what happens in the next phase? Say whatever is our bit value, that same value has been assigned to our list. Okay. Now coming to this list part. Coming to this list, this portion. So this one, how we got it? We have applied this production rule, right? So in this production rule, what happened? Where we are using the value. For value purpose, we are calculating list 1 dot value plus bit dot value has been added together, and we are assigning it to list 0 dot value. Okay. So when we have to calculate, for calculating this list value, we have to wait till this bit value has been achieved. So this bit value, how do we get? It is 0. Whenever it is 0, the value also would be 0. So now we are adding 4 plus 0, and the value would be taken to be as, this list value would be nothing but 4 plus 0, which would be ending up having to be as 4 itself. Now coming to this bit, since it is 1, it would be calculating 2 to the power of position. So what is the position over here, which is 0. So 2 to the power of 0, which would be nothing but it would be returning the value to be as 1. So bit value would be 1. So now to calculate this list value, you would be ending up adding up this list value, which is 4 plus 1. So 4 plus 1, which is 5. So this list would end up having the value to be as 5. Now, based on the sign what you have assigned. So when we have the sign mentioned, we have mentioned to be a sign dot negative. So here it is true. So since it is true, what happens? You are applying the if statement condition statement. So if it is true, what we have done? We have applied minus of bit value. So what was the minus of bit value? Which was minus of list value. So here the list value is 5. So minus of value, which would be minus 5. So like this, you would end up having the value to be as -5. So like this, you can apply the evaluations. So for any particular productions, we can do the calculations. Okay. So hope it is clear. So first, the point is, first we have applied the production rule. So for this production rule, we have applied the attribute rules has been mentioned. So how this attribute rules has been so by seeing this parse tree itself, you can understand we have attributes which can have some values which can flow from top to bottom, like the attribute position. So for the position, the values are getting you are taking the values from top to bottom, that is from root to leaf. Say initially in the first level it was position was 0, next it was 1, next it was 2 and 1. So the values you are taking from root to, the flow is from root to leaf nodes or top to bottom. There are certain attributes like value and negative. Okay, for those one, for those the flow is from bottom to top. Okay, so for this attribute based grammar, we can have by if you see this example itself, the red colored one, the red font one has been mentioned to be as top to bottom flow. The green ones are having bottom to top flow. Okay, so that means you can write the production rule as well as the attribute rules where you can take the contents, the left node, that is the left production rule attribute content can also be modified. You can make use of left and right contents, okay, which you have seen in this in these two cases. In these two cases, if you have understood, you can see. Say for example, this is taking the root node contents, okay, whereas this for calculating value part, you are taking the leaf node contents. Okay, so based on this, we can say that there are attributes. When you are going with attribute based grammar, the attributes can have the values flowed from top to bottom or bottom to top. So based on this, we have named those attributes. We have named the attributes to be a synthesized attribute and inherited attribute. So can you try out which one would be the inherited attribute? As the name specifies, inherited. When we say inherited, what exactly it means? Inheritance, inherited.
Maybe bottom to top is inheritance because value is confirmed, na ma'am. And then top to bottom, the position value we are synthesizing, so it is synthesized.
Can you repeat?
Ma'am, there are two things, na ma'am. One is synthesized
as well as inherited. So when we are saying inherited attribute means, usually when we say inherited, usual one you say, usual definition you say.
Yes, ma'am. That is top to bottom approach. The position value is inherited.
That means from parents we are taking the contents. So that means from root node we are taking the contents. So it will be top to bottom. So what you said was reverse. So when we say inherited, we will take the contents from top to bottom. So that means from this example, what would be the one which would be inherited? Inherited attribute. Position would be the one which is considered to be as inherited attribute. Okay. Similarly, coming to the synthesized attribute, opposite of it. So synthesized attribute means the information flow would be from bottom to top. For example, here it is the sign negative. The negative is bottom to top. Similarly, value, that is also bottom to top. So this is what we call it to be as synthesized attribute. Okay, and the parse tree along with this attribute, we call it to be as dependence graph. So this entire thing is considered to be as dependence graph. Oh, time up. Okay. Okay then students, I'll stop with this and we'll continue from the next class. Hope it is clear. If it is not clear, you can stop. You can ask the doubts in the next class. I think today only Putipriya was listening to the class. Others are very silent. Should I take it to be as positive or negative?